As leaders, we are faced with many challenges. We are faced with things that people may say about us. We are faced with others' opinions of us, but we should not let it define us. This is the 30. Let's go. Well, hello there. Welcome to the 30, the show where we provide relevant information to you, the viewer and the listener, to help you thrive in your personal, professional, and spiritual lives. I am your host. I'm glad that you came along with me today. Do me a huge favor. Like and share this broadcast. If you are watching it on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for doing that. Today's episode is what every leader and aspiring leader who's ever questioned themselves about what others say about them, what others may think about them. And we are going to call this, don't let other opinions of you define who you are. I'll say that again. Don't let what other people think and say about you define who you are. See, folks, here's the truth. Here's the hard truth that we need to start off with. Leadership as a whole is challenging. Whether you are a new leader or a tenured leader, an experienced leader, leadership, whenever you step into the role as a leader, it can be extremely challenging, because what's happening is that now you're going from an individual contributor. Now you're leading people, you're leading teams, and you could be loved today and hated tomorrow. People can say things about you. People can have opinions about you, right? So all these things are happening. You may be doing great. You may think that you're doing great, but others may think that you're not doing so great. So you could be the hero today and the GOAT tomorrow. You could be doing wonderful things and be extolled, right? People can be saying positive things about you today, and then tomorrow you could be shunned and despised. That's leadership as a whole. So here's the bigger truth. You don't have to let what people think and say about you define who you are. So in this episode, what we are going to look at, we're going to explore how to rise above the noise, how to lead with your authentic self, where you're not focusing on others, you're not focusing on what others think about you, but you're focusing on what is your purpose, what is your goal, what is your mission. So we're going to look in and help you to rise above the noise. We're also going to help you to inspire confidence in both you and the teams or team that you lead. So are you ready to go? If you're ready, I am, right? So let's go. If you have any questions or comments, do me a huge favor, drop it in the chat. I would love to hear from you. So I want to start off with a question. The first question I want to ask you is, when was the last time you let someone's opinion shape how you saw yourself as a leader? I'll say that again. When was the last time you let someone's opinion of you shape how you saw yourself as a leader? Maybe it was feedback that you were given from a coworker or a manager or leader, someone that is in a higher position than you. Or maybe it was a critical comment from a team member, someone that it was on your team that you're leading or serving. Or even it could be something that you overheard someone saying. Or what about this? Maybe it was an action taken by someone. See, as leaders, we're constantly under the microscope. We're constantly being evaluated. We're constantly being watched. Our decisions, things that we say, how we say it, our actions, our intentions, all these things are watched and dissected. And sometimes without realizing it, we fall into the trap of allowing others' opinions to define us. And as I say, it's a trap. But it's easy for us to fall into it without knowing or realizing it. So here are some things to consider. The greatest leaders in history, the ones that we all admire, they also face relentless criticism, but yet they still led with purpose and unwavering truth. People talked about them. People had different opinions about what they said, what they did, their intentions. But however, they still led with purpose and they still moved forward with what they were intended to do, their calling. And I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to give you some examples. Let's start with the greatest leader there was and still is, and that's Jesus Christ. See, Jesus was misunderstood. He was mocked. He was ultimately crucified by those who couldn't see the bigger picture, his purpose, or his mission. But throughout it all, what he did was he stayed faithful to his purpose and his mission. Purpose to serve, his purpose to save us from our sins, and his purpose to restore us to our relationship with God. But despite him being ridiculed and mocked, he stayed to his mission and his purpose. His leadership wasn't about pleasing people, because sometimes we get caught up in what is our purpose and we get pulled away from we think is pleasing people, right? And we move in that avenue. But Jesus's mission, his purpose wasn't about pleasing people. It was about fulfilling the divine calling, fulfilling his mission and his call as to what he was supposed to do here on earth. So that's the greatest example when we look at leadership and effective leadership, because he was and still is the greatest leader that ever lived. So let's move on to now in terms of others that we may think or consider as leaders. But keep in mind Jesus will and will all and is and will always be the greatest leader. But I want to take a look at some others. Let's look at Nelson Mandela. We all know of Mr. Mandela's leadership. We all know of his story. We all know that because of his belief and because of his action, right? Because of what people may call his radical actions, his threat to the status quo, the threat to apartheid, he didn't let his opinions of those that didn't like him, those that despise him, he didn't let those opinions of those individuals dissuade him from his mission, from his purpose. He moved forward in accomplishing what he was called to do. So he persevered through it all. So despite enduring 27 years in prison, and we're talking about hard labor, right? We're not talking about just going to prison and being in comfort. We're talking about hard labor in prison. When he was released, here's some things. He could have easily be resentful to those that imprisoned him. But no, what he did was he went about reconciliation. He went about in terms of, as opposed to revenge, he forgave. He went about reconciling with his prisoner, with his guards, showing the power of forgiveness and purpose-driven leadership. So think about that. It's 27 hard years in prison. Now you come out and you are going to forgive those that imprison you. You're going to move forward with reconciliation. That's leadership. Let's talk about another person that we may know that's closer in years to us. And everyone loves her. Most people love her. Let's talk about Oprah Winfrey. If you look at her story, early on, she was told that she didn't have the look, her personality, right? Based on her look and personality, she didn't have those things or items to succeed on TV, to be successful. But what did she do? She stayed true to herself, true to her authentic self. See, sometimes as leaders, we want to be other people as opposed to being our authentic self. So she stayed close to who she was and being the authentic Oprah that she was or is, connecting millions of people by showing what? Transparency, being vulnerable, and creating spaces for serious and deep conversations. So if we look at these three leaders, Jesus Christ himself, Nelson Mandela, and let's take Oprah as well. What do they have in common? What do they have in common? And what do we as leaders have in common when we're faced with opposition or people that are condemning us, criticizing us, or have varying or different opinions of us, right? I put out a post earlier today, and I posted it to my socials. And the post went something like this. I talked about what do we do? And I'll look at this right now. And the post that I put out was, don't allow other people's opinion of you to become your reality. Don't allow others' opinion of you to become your reality. See, people may have varying opinions because they don't know you. They don't know the mission that you have. They, for some reason, they may not like you, or they may like you, right? But because you are on a different wavelength, your mission and your purpose is different from theirs. So they may see you as a threat. But we can't allow others' opinions of us to become our reality. So let's go back to the 3 examples that we discussed. So the 3 have things in common. Number 1, they all face criticism. They all face rejection, right? They were criticized. They were rejected. They were put down. They were ridiculed. But what happens is that they didn't allow those opinions to define their reality. Instead, they lean into their mission. What I would say, they were locked in to their mission, their purpose, trusted their values, which led them to moving forward to become effective leaders. So what happens is that we get caught up in what others say about us, what others think about us. And then we become distracted from the mission. If I were to give you a key takeaway, folks, from today's episode in our discussion, is this. Leadership is not about being liked or approved by others. It's about staying true to your purpose, even when others can't see or understand your vision. You are going to be ridiculed if you're going to move forward. Others may not like you. As I said, you may be liked today, but disdained tomorrow. You may be the hero today, but because of something that you've done or said, or your intention may not be totally understood, you may be shunned. And that's okay. But you cannot and should not allow others' opinions of you to become your reality. It's about knowing who you are. It's about not letting the noise, I would say the noise, and I term it as noise, distract you or derail you from what you're called to do. You should not allow the noise to distract you or derail you from your purpose. It's about locking in. It's about putting a stake in the ground and moving forward and saying, this is the purpose that I was given. This is the calling that I was given. And I don't care what it is, the noise, the opinions of others, I'm not going to let it distract me. And I'm not going to let the opinions of those individuals become my reality. Is it challenging? Absolutely, it's challenging. See, before you were a leader, you didn't have to worry about all these things. It was all good. You could block out the noise because you knew it was all about you. But since you become a leader, you stepped into the role of leadership, it's no longer about you. It's about the people that you serve. It's about the purpose that you've been given. It's about your calling. When I come back, I'm going to give you some very specific things that you can do as to how you can move beyond the opinions of others and lead with confidence. I'm going to give you some very specific tools as to how you can do that. Give me about 20 to 30 seconds, And I'll come back and we'll give you those tools, and then we will end this episode. Stick around. All right, we're back. I want to talk about how can we move beyond other people's opinions of us in order to lead with confidence. So I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 of those tools. Number 1, separate opinions from feedback. See, not all opinions are bad if it is given as feedback. Feedback is a gift. However, we have to learn how to give feedback, because sometimes the way we give feedback can really truly impact someone's confidence. So we have to learn how to give feedback. And if you are on the other end, you have to learn how to receive feedback. But not all opinions of others are bad. Some valuable feedback can help us grow. And it's all about growing, right? It's all about becoming better, becoming more effective. It's about growth, going from where we are to where we should be. So the key here, when we are given others' opinions, cloak in feedback, we have to ask ourselves the question: does this opinion given by the person or persons align with my mission, with my purpose? Does the opinion or opinions given by others align with my mission or my purpose? Is it actionable, or is it just noise? Is it something that I can work on or work with to help me grow, or is it a distraction, aka noise? If it is actionable, something that can help you grow, use it as such. If it is noise or a distraction, let it go. Don't focus on it. Let it go. Use it as such. Flush it down the toilet and keep going forward towards your purpose and your calling. That's number 1. Number 2, anchor yourself in your leadership vision. Right? Now, what are you saying, Patrick? Take a moment to reflect on your purpose, your vision, or your calling as a leader. Ask yourself, why am I leading? What is my purpose? Is it to serve others, or is it to serve myself? What is the impact? And ask yourself, what is the impact am I trying to create? Is it about helping others to achieve their goals? Is it about serving others to go to the next level? Or is it self-serving? So you have to ask yourself these types of questions. But more importantly, are you clear on your mission or your purpose? Are you clear? Do you have clarity on it? Or is there some level of, I don't really understand. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be doing something, but I'm not sure what I should be doing, right? You will find, once you have an understanding and you have clarity of your mission, your purpose in life, you will find that it's easier to ignore the noise, to ignore the opinions of others when it doesn't align with your purpose, your calling, or your mission. So you can rise above that if there's no alignment, because you see it as just noise. And what do we do with noise? We turn it down. We turn off the radio. You let it go. You turn off the TV. When there's so much noise that's causing confusion, you ignore it. You move on. You don't focus on it. You focus on your journey towards your purpose, the mission that you've called to accomplish. And I'll leave you with this last one. As leaders, we have to build resilience through what I call self-awareness. See, we can't be caught up and become so emotional when people say things that we may not agree with, or when the noise comes. When others put the opinions of us that does not line up with our reality. See, leadership is about managing emotions, because we are thrown as leaders with many things on a daily basis. It's about managing our emotions. It's about leading others. It's about managing our emotions and managing the emotions of others if we can. See, when criticism comes, and guess what? Criticism will come. Whether you are an aspiring leader, a new leader, or an experienced leader, you are going to be criticized. When you step into the role of a leader, you are going to be criticized. You are going to be mistaken what you say, and what you intended to say may be mistaken, misunderstood. So when criticism or opinions of others or ridicule comes your way, you need to pause and reflect. And ask your question as you're pausing and reflecting: am I reacting emotionally? And then secondly, you need to ask yourself, what is the bigger picture here? What is the bigger picture? What is this person trying to tell me? Is it something that I need to learn? Or is it just noise? See, being self-aware, knowing who you are as a leader, having clarity about your mission or your purpose, will help you to become a more self-aware person and a self-aware leader. Self-awareness helps you respond in a very thoughtful way, as opposed to reacting impulsively. There's a difference between response and reaction, right? There's a difference between those two. If someone comes up to you and punch you, would you respond or would you react? See, reaction is more of an impulse, it's more of an emotionally based. It's more emotionally based, right? Versus a response. A response is more thought out. Reaction is more emotionally based. So you have to think about, take a step back, process it, and reflect. Am I reacting emotionally? Am I responding? And what is the bigger picture here? Is it something that I should learn? So that's the third one. Building resilience through self-awareness. I said that I was going to give you one more, but here's the last one. And then next week or so, I'll come back and give you some others. A great strategy, a tool that you can use is to have or develop a trusted circle of people. Whether it's a mentor or peer, or here's Here's something revolutionary. Investing in a coach. Every leader, effective leader, needs to have a trusted circle or trusted people or trusted person. Someone that they can lean into. So that's the last one. Who do you have that's on your side? Who do you have that you can trust, that can give you candid, honest, and constructive feedback? Now, note I didn't say constructive criticism, because if you know or you've heard me in the past, I don't like those two words, constructive criticism, but talking about constructive feedback. Do you have individuals or an individual that can be honest, candid, and provide constructive feedback to you? So again, the voices are going to come. If you are stepping into a point of leadership, you are going to have opinions. People are going to have opinions of you. People are going to say things about you. People are going to question your intentions, your actions. You may intend to say or do things one way, but people may interpret it a different way. And you have to decide, am I going to allow the noise? Is this a learning experience or is it noise? Am I going to take away something from it to grow? Or is it just noise where I need to turn off that channel or turn it off completely, change the channel because it's too much noise? So my challenge to you as we end is I really want you to take a moment to reflect on this question that I'm going to give you. What opinion about my leadership have I been holding on to that I need to let go of? I'll say this again. And I want you to really take some time to reflect on this question. What opinion about my leadership and about me that I've been holding on to that I need to let go of? And I want you to write that down. Reflect on it. And I want you to replace it with an affirmation. And the affirmation that you can use is, I am capable. I will turn off the noise and I'll focus on the reality on my purpose. I am capable. I'm not going to focus on the noise, but instead, I'm going to focus on my purpose, my mission, and my call. So, folks, that's about it. I hope this episode resonated with you. I'm going to add to it. This is part one. I may add to it as a part two. But I want to thank you. I hope this was helpful, because we all, whether you're a leader or not, we all have people expressing opinions of us. We all experience criticism. We all experience negativity. We all experience being talked about. But when that happens, are you using it? Is it feedback and you're using it to grow? Or is it noise where you can turn the channel and let it go, where it does not become your reality? So I hope this was helpful. Until next time, remember this: great leaders aren't defined by the opinion of others. They define their own journey and move forward towards their purpose, their call, and their mission. So until next time, I want to thank you for being here. Remember, we are going to have a session, and we have invited the 30s co-hosts, Sabrina Tika. She's going to be talking about innovation. Innovation at your fingertips. And she's going to give us some ideas as to how we can utilize tools, the tools that are currently here, to become more effective in our workplace and in our business. So that's going to happen December 5th, and that is from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I am going to put up where you can register, where you can get more information, and you can go here. So innovations at your fingertips, understanding tools that are changing how we work. That's December 5th, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. You can learn more and register. There's the link. I'm also going to show the URL code where you can capture it. It's also in a description. So make sure that you register, or if you need more information, you can do that. Thank you for watching, folks. We'll see you next week. Be safe. May God bless you and your family, and we will see you then. Thank you.